Listen up. If you're losing deals that you should be closing, it's not because you're bad at sales. It's because you're asking the wrong questions. Most salespeople think selling is about pitching harder, talking more, or handling objections better. But that's not how top closers win. The best closers don't sell, they guide. They ask the right questions, uncover the real problem, and make the prospect feel like buying is their idea. And today, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that using the COIN framework, the 4-question process that gets prospects to open up, uncover their real needs, and close themselves. Step number 1, start with circumstance questions. You can't solve a problem if you don't know the context. Circumstance questions, they help you understand the prospect's current situation, their current environment. See, most salespeople, they skip this step because they make an assumption that they already know the customer's problem. And I'm here to tell you, that is a huge mistake. Here's an example. Let's say you're selling auto insurance. Instead of jumping into the benefits of the policy, simply ask, what kind of auto coverage do you currently have right now? How did you decide on those coverages? Has anything changed since you started that policy? When was the last time you actually sat down and spent time reviewing your coverage? Have you ever had any claims or accidents in the last few years? Here's why this works. It gets your prospects to start talking about their situation without feeling pressured. It helps you spot gaps or inconsistencies in their current plan. It builds trust because people trust people who listen. An example, let's say you're working with a prospect that recently got a new job and a big raise and they ended up buying a new house. Their financial situation, it's improved significantly, but they're still carrying the same liability limits they set years ago when they were making less money and didn't have the level of assets they have today. By asking the right circumstance questions, you might uncover that their current policy actually wouldn't fully protect their assets if they were involved in a major accident. If they were found at fault, their personal assets, including their house, could be at risk. Once you help them see that gap, increasing their coverage, it becomes an easy decision. And they're not buying because you told them to. They're buying because they actually understand the risk and the consequences if something happens. The goal, it isn't to sell, it's to understand. Step number 2 is to uncover the real obstacle. Once you understand their situation, that's when you need to identify the problem. Most salespeople, they focus on surface level problems only. You don't have enough coverage. Your premium, it's too high, you're paying too much. That's not enough coverage. So you need to uncover the emotional or logistical barrier that's stopping them from actually making a decision. Some examples of obstacle questions are, what's stopping you from increasing your coverage? What concerns you most about switching carriers? Have you tried to fix this before? This is where the prospect starts to reflect, and that's when the real issue, it starts to come out. Here's an example of how this could look. Imagine, again, you're working with a prospect and they're hesitant to increase their coverage. And you ask, what's stopping you from increasing your liability coverage? They might say, I'm not really sure if I could afford it. I don't know if this is the right time to make any changes. I'm not sure how my spouse would feel about this. When you uncover the real obstacle and the real problem, that is when you can step in and fix it. If it's the price, you can simply adjust the policy. If it's the timing, you can offer a phased solution to get them to where they need to be. And if it's about involving their spouse, you can suggest a follow-up meeting with both decision makers. See, when you know the real issue, that's when you can handle it effectively. Step 3 is to clarify the impact. Now that you've uncovered their circumstances and their problems, you need to help the prospect feel the weight of it. Most prospects, they're gonna downplay their problems. They tell themselves, it wouldn't be that bad, it's not that bad of a situation, it wouldn't impact us that much. But it's your job to make them really feel the impact of not taking action. So here are some potential impact questions that you can use. What happens if this situation doesn't change and you're in an accident? How would it affect your family if something happened to you today? What would the impact be financially to you and your family if something happened and you didn't have this coverage in place? These questions, they create urgency. When prospects emotionally connect to the problem, they will want to fix it, and they'll want to fix it now. And step 4 is to solve with needs-based options. Now that the prospect understands the problem and they feel the urgency and impact, this is when it's time to offer your plan. Most salespeople, they make the mistake of pitching based on features, but that's not why prospects make decisions, and it's certainly not what they care about. They care about how it solves their specific problem. And that's what needs questions are designed to do. See, needs questions. Some examples could be, what would the benefit be if we were able to find an affordable way to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this? How would you feel knowing that your family would be taken care of, no matter what? How would it feel if you knew that this was taken care of? So let's look at another example. Instead of saying to a prospect, this policy, it provides $500,000 per accident of liability coverage, you should say, this policy, it's gonna help you protect your assets, your savings, and your income to make sure that no matter what, your family's gonna be taken care of if something happens. You're not selling a product. You're providing a plan and options that meet their specific needs. Step 5 is close by framing it as their decision. When you've guided the prospect through the COIN framework, closing, it becomes easy. By this point, they've already told you about their circumstances and situations. They've told you about the obstacles and the problems that they're facing. They've shared with you what the impact and consequences is of not fixing it or taking action. And you have designed the options and plans to meet their ideal situation based off their needs. And now, you just frame it back to them. Based on everything we've discussed, it sounds like this plan is going to do everything that you want. Is there anything that you would like to change, add, or update before we get everything started? No pressure, no manipulation, just guiding them to the obvious conclusion. If you're struggling to close deals, stop pitching and start asking the right questions. When you guide instead of push, closing becomes easy. So drop a comment below and let me know which part of the COIN framework that you're going to try first. And if you want more proven sales strategies that work, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Let's stop selling and let's start closing.